everything he's achieved. Back-to-back semi-final appearances on the European Tour, and that 10-3 win 65. In his first ever match at the World Match Play as well. It was a very, very productive summer for him. Could well continue here as we enter September.
Well, look, he's moved into the top 32, the first Spanish player ever to do so. He's up to number 27 in the world, and I think he's going to go higher and higher. He's a 13th seed here, and Christo, I think, is on the verge. We've been saying this about a number of players this year. There could be the next new winner on the PDC circuit. Daryl Gurney proved us right. Kyle Anderson recently proved us right. Joe Cullen proved us right. But Christo Reyes has got to be considered
100
as perhaps the next to join that 96. List of winners on the Pro Tour. Oh dear, got to be trouble 19 now. Robert Owen's got a sniff of a chance.
40. Robert, you require 141.
Yeah, to make it 7 legs out of 7 so far this weekend after 6 on the bounce yesterday. Won't happen for him here though. Reyes ready to pounce on 56.
Still you require 56.
Robert Thornton was his victim in Blackpool, of course, before losing to Peter Wright in the last 16 at the Winter Gardens. Tops then for Reyes for the opener.
46. Robert, you require 84.
Be a little bit rusty on the Spartan. Great dart, double 12. Two great darts. 7 legs on the spin for Robert Owen.
The magnificent 7 for the man from Bridgend.
Game on.
Break of throw to start things off against the number 13 seed. Robert Owen catching the eye early doors yesterday. Had a 1-2-1 checkout. That was his highest checkout of yesterday. Pretty effective on his doubles as well. 6 from 11. He didn't hang around, and certainly didn't hang around there either.
Yeah, it wasn't a stratospheric average or anything. It was only mid-80s, but it was more than enough for Jamie Bain, who didn't miss every single dart at double he had.
137.
But good leg of darts here to try and consolidate that break of throw in the opener. Starting off well at any rate. Mind you, here comes Christo.
140.
Still searching for that first maximum for this capacity crowd. 5,000 people here. That dwarfs every single major tournament crowd in PDC darts, apart from the Premier League.
$100. Robert, you require 102.
And in the frame once again here. On his throat.
Single 17 to leave tops. Oh dear!
96.
Well, well, well. Hits the treble. That is not what you wanted. He's left himself the ash down.
60. Robert, you require 6.
Well, just wonder whether he might split this. Yeah, oh no.
He is called stack attack. He should be able to build up from there, but those 2 darts are no help to him. That one.
So you require 120.
The flight was. Yeah.
So Shanghai for Reyes to level things up and break back straight away. That's the simple part of the equation, and it's not going to be this time around either. So Owen
Robert, you require 6.
will return for another crack. I just wonder whether he will have another go at double 3 here, or whether he'll move. He sticks to his guns and he takes it out.
Robert Owen. Third leg is Christo.
And it's now 8 out of 8.
Yeah, Robert Owen, the way his darts go, he likes to stack them on top of each other, hence the nickname. So double 3 is actually not a bad double for him. Certainly better than, say, Christo, because if he misses low, then he's actually covering part of the bed. Whereas Robert Owen, if he misses high, there, he's covering part of the treble 20. Perhaps should have switched, but he's managed to force one in the bottom corner. Slow start from Christo, this. Robert Owen continues his perfect record this weekend.
100.
I did speak to Robert briefly after his game yesterday with Jamie Bain. He says, look, I felt that result was coming. I've been winning more games, getting more accustomed to
100.
Life on the PDC Tour. Been beating some decent players. He had his first run to a quarter-final earlier this year. He's had a couple of board finals as well. Not gone any further than that, but he feels he's just making progress. And this would be a significant step forward to win here, go through to the final day and set up a
99.
Shootout for the quarterfinals with either Kirk Shepherd or Simon Whitlock. Those 2 facing off this evening.
Yeah, produced his best ever run on the PDC circuit in Players' Championship 2 this year, did Owen. Made the quarter-finals, beating Bunting, Peter Jakes, Rob Cross and Stuart Kellett on the way.
100.
Good wins there.
43.
Only made his European Tour debut at the end of last year in Sindelfingen.
Oh, hang about, Christo, double 16.
127.
Very nearly a big finish just to try and get the Spaniards' motor running, but a 1-2-1. We saw Owen take this out yesterday. Treble 17 for Bull.
Oh, it's on.
96. Christo, you require 16.
Oh, you suspect now will be the time for Reyes to get his first leg on the board.
Well, it has to be, doesn't it?
Well, I
he
say
has
that.
real problems if he goes 2 breaks down.
Christo Reyes. 12 legs drop it in first. Game on. $96.
Well, vital last dart into double 8 for Christo Reyes, with Robert Owen sat waiting on 25 for a 3-0 lead, and maybe
121.
that could be the moment. He already had missed a dart at the bullseye course there, Robert Owen. He did have a chance to make it 3-0. Apparently suffered an allergic reaction yesterday morning.
60.
He swelled up like he was in mortal danger. Not even sure what it was a reaction to.
Owen or Reyes, sorry?
Robert Owen.
Right. Okay.
And yet he's still gone 1-6-0 later in the day against Jamie Bain.
Ooh. Was it the Edam?
I've no idea. He doesn't either.
100.
But a lottery is life now, isn't it? He's wondering, well, dare I eat these nuts? Dare I eat this dairy? Where does he go?
Oh. I'll be honest. It's the first time he's lost a leg. Maybe he needs to go and have some more anaphylactic reactions to something.
And we will see
55.
Owen again next weekend, by the way. He's qualified also for the German Darts Grand Prix, which will be held in Mannheim next weekend. 3 tournaments on the European Tour this month as we determine the lineup for the European
100.
Championship in October in Belgium. It's a significant month for many players on the PDC circuit.
100.
Yeah, the question for Christo is, of course, how high can he get in the Euro Tour order of merit to establish the seedings? 2-2.
Well, I mentioned those 2 semi-final appearances back-to-back. He's made the third round on 4 occasions as well. He just had that one upset in Sindelfingen when he went out at the hands of Ulf Seder. Although the way he played yesterday in his defeat as well sort of puts that in perspective a little bit. But by and large, it's been a very good campaign for Christo Reyes. He had that all-important first win over Peter Wright as well.
100.
Yeah, well, Robert Owen, if he can win this one, it'd be the first time he's ever beaten Christo, because they've met 4 times. Every single one of them has been won by Christo.
59.
Most of them pretty convincingly. And Christo has a better record against Robert Owen than anybody else in darts. He's not beaten anybody 5 times without losing.
140.
So Christo will come into this full of confidence. And of course, that's the difference from Christo. A guy who turned up as an unknown at the World Championship a few years ago.
81.
And very much an underdog. You know, Spain has had some good players, Antonio Alcinas, Carlos Rodriguez, but it's not produced loads of top players. Just missing out on a 180 there, Robert Owen. But now Christo is establishing himself as a very, very good professional, a man who looks capable of going and winning
60.
titles.
Robert,
And he's going into games like this where he is the favourite. However, Robert Owen has got a chance here. I don't think... Is that in? It was in. Double 18 is what he wanted.
But it's got to the stage now where you look at Reyes, you come into a European Tour event in particular, and you have to consider him as a candidate for the title.
96.
Until Barney, only a few days later, lost to Van Gerwen with, 109 average at the World Championship. Christo had the highest losing average ever seen at the World Championship, 106 against MVG. This man is a serious dart player, and he's looking at 118 here, having survived 3 darts for the leg from Robert Owen, and it might well go to pinch this leg on his own throw.
78.
Misses high.
Robert, you require 4.
Yeah, Robert Owen won't want to hang around too much longer. He's had plenty of opportunities already. This is for another break of throw to get his nose back in front. He's in the madhouse, though, for a 3-2 lead. But he gets the job done.
Robert Owen.
And Robert Owen breathes new life into this opening match on day 2 of the Dutch Darts Masters here in Maastricht. Just to illustrate where we are in terms of the draw, this is a match that features in the second quarter, so it's the same half as Michael van Gerwen, so Reyes can't meet van Gerwen until the semi-finals. However, in his section, he also has the number 4 seed Simon Whitlock and Michael Smith, who has had success on the European Tour, of course, as well. Joe Cullen also in this section.
96.
I think he too is another player that, you know, warrants a bit of respect and a bit of a looking at in terms of the betting as well.
Yeah, very interesting match, Joe Cullen later on against Jimi Hendrix, who made full use of the crowd last night in his win over Rene Burns. But now the crowd is almost 5 times the size it was. So Joe Cullen
46.
could be in for a trial by fire at the hands of this Maastricht crowd. Because Jimi Hendrix made it quite clear last night that he has no qualms at all about using them to his advantage.
140.
8
match starts missed by Rene Burns.
I overlooked the one. He had 2 at the ball in different legs, and I overlooked one of those yesterday.
Yeah, so. I lost track of how many darts. It was loads. It was loads. 8 was the final total.
And as we mentioned in commentary as well, when he was on 302 and he didn't switch to the 18s at the end, it left him 162. That sort of knocks him off his stride. He did do it earlier on, but got away with it. But in the final leg, he didn't have that room for manoeuvre. Yeah,
I think Rene Burns' head was well and truly baked by that point.
95. Robert
95 for Cristo Reyes means that he has left to finish, but Robert Owen is down to 1 first. Take a straight ton here if possible. How do you fit that in there?
Oh, well. Let's see what he does. He goes low.
Pistonia car 164.
Yeah, could have easily dislodged that second dart as well, so maybe safety first approach there from Robert Owen.
41. Robert
was a low par visit by Cristo anyway, so Owen has a good opportunity now.
20. Blast.
Shot on the
80. Check out 4-2.
Sounds like it's Cristo to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, work to do here for Cristo Reyes.
Well, it's another mid-80s average, but it's good enough for Robert Owen right now. Cristo Reyes just looking a bit lackluster. Gave him the big build-up, but it's not been the Cristo we know. Certainly not from those back-to-back semi-final runs on the Euro Tour. However, there's time to turn this around.
Starting now with a 180.
First one of the day.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming. We, like I say, had 5 perfect darts from Owen from the word go yesterday. Well, Reyes has just been derailed here slightly, but nevertheless still has a bit of a cushion here on Robert Owen, but he can make a big indentation here with a ton 40. That would do very nicely.
140.
Yep, and he's down to that 1-2-1 again.
Yeah, Cristo Reyes in all kinds of problems here. We could be seeing the first seeded player
93
to appear here in Maastricht go out. Robert Owen must love being first on stage.
97.
Good setup.
82.
Already hit that double 12 today as well, Robert Owen. Oh dear, only the 5 scored, 77 left. Treble 19 for double 10, you would think would be the route. And he's not going to get a dart. And Robert Owen for 5-2 against Cristo Reyes, 24. The number 13 seed. We talked about how far can Cristo get up the rankings and for the European Championship. Well, he won't get any ranking money if he goes out here, because they're changing the rules this year.
Yeah.
Seeded players have got to win a game, and he's lining them up just outside, and he's got on the wrong side of those two.
Stacking them up the wrong way. He took out double 12, no problem earlier on, but maybe Cristo Reyes will give him another chance. Double 5. Last chance saloon. You feel maybe for Cristo Reyes, and he gets the job done. And that is a very important leg for Cristo Reyes indeed.
Well, once again, he's taken out last dart in hand, and they can be demoralising ones for your opponent to stand back. He thinks he's coming back to the board, going to establish a 3-leg advantage, and nope, denied. and maybe denied the victory.
Yeah, maybe, just maybe, that's the platform that Cristo Reyes needs on which to build.
Oh, talk about platforms to build on. Stack attack, look at that.
All in the line, though, that time. Go on, Cristo, follow it up. Here we go.
Slow zoom in. Oh, come on, Cristo.
5 perfect darts once again. Good leg, this. Bubbling up very nicely indeed, isn't it?
That is textbook stuff from Robert Owen, those last 2 visits. First dart, perfect. Following them up. 84 left after 9.
Yeah, just as was the case in the first leg as well. Took this out, no problem, to open things up. Oh, dear. Well. 81 away. That's nice. So, double 12.
72.
And again, 3 bites at double 12 on the previous visit.
50.
And he's missed that one as well. And Reyes once again has a chance to get back into contention here with double 16.
42.
And Owen
Robert,
will return.
12.
For 5-3 to go within a leg. He's never taken more than 4 legs off Cristo Reyes in the 4 previous meetings they've had.
Oh,
6 scored.
Oh dear.
Cristo, you require
Well, he's
8.
on double 3 again, which he eventually took out earlier on in this match, but he won't get the opportunity because Reyes has levelled things up.
9th leg is Cristo to throw
With a
first.
13 dart break of throw.
Game on.
But that is another leg that could so easily have gone the other way. Robert Owen could have had this one in the bag already.
Yeah, missed 4 darts in that leg. He missed a dart for a leg he lost in the 3rd leg. That 18 darter you see there.
135.
Robert Owen could have already been through to the final day of action on the Euro Tour for the first time in his career. Could have already claimed his first win against Cristo Reyes in his career. But right now, he needs to find another break of throw.
98.
Well, he's capable of doing it. Just could do with a couple of those visits that he had in the previous leg. His approach play in that final, previous leg was absolutely perfect. Nothing wrong at all. Good momentum from both players.
Oh, lovely.
138.
Nicely squared off that bite. Cristo.
83.
83 is not enough.
130.
Now, Cristo doesn't have to use the bullseye route here, which is a good job.
$72.
Well, takes a chunk out of it. Going to get 2 darts for the leg, and to go into the lead for the first time in this match, Cristo Reyes, in this all-important 9th leg. We so often see this 9th leg prove pivotal in these best of 11 games.
Good pressure, though, from Robert Owen. This has to go for Reyes. 1 bite at tops left, and he's missed it once again. And Owen, this time looking at 38. I suspect, well, double 19, he may go for it. He has gone for it. He split it. That was the danger. So just the 1 dart at double 8.
30. Cristo, you require 20.
Tension is palpable in this arena and on stage in particular, and Reyes, having trailed 4-2, finds himself 1 leg away with a 5-4 lead.
Well, in all those meetings where we've commentated on Cristo Reyes taking on Peter Wright, and he kept getting close and failing to get over the line, he eventually did it, of course, but I think it was it 7 consecutive defeats he had to Peter Wright? And you felt that there was a mental block for Cristo that he was struggling to get over. And you kind of think that he might be benefiting from one here with Robert Owen, who has played him 4 times, lost heavily 3 times, lost 6-4 the other time. And it may well be that he doesn't get more than 4 legs here, even though, as you say, he's missed darts in 3 of the legs he's lost. Yeah. He could have had this sewn up. 18% on the doubles for Robert Owen.
And Reyes' stats aren't anything to write home about either. He's got away with it so far, Cristo Reyes, and Robert Owen just threatening to be overhauled here as well.
You see 91 average, but with 18% on the doubles, if he was finishing anything like he was yesterday, that would be up towards the mid-90s and high 90s. And again, look at the room there.
140.
And then Robert Owen, what have you got? You may only get one dart at double, and that's not been enough for most of this match. Double 18. Not enough this time. We're going all the way to a decider.
11th and final leg is Christo to throw first. Game on.
Solid 15 darter for Robert Owen. Gives him a chance.
Strange, isn't it? So many missed doubles, and then he has one crack at double 18 and he pins it. Absolutely no bother whatsoever. Pretty sure in the back of the mind he'll be thinking, why couldn't I have done that earlier on double 12? And on the double 19.
140.
Well, that bounce out in the first visit from Christo Reyes. He still had 2 treble 20s, but 20 points could
be pivotal.
Could prove to be the difference. Because Robert Owen has pretty much stolen the darts here.
41 scored by Reyes is not what he needed at that particular moment in time. But then again, Robert Owen hasn't really punished him there. He's met it like for like, in fact, with 41 of his own.
Well, the only difference in the scores is that 20 that bounced out of the board for Christo Reyes.
100.
And you can see the difference because Christo Reyes, if he comes back to the board and only hits a 60 next time out, he is not down to a finish. An extra 20 points, he would be. Needs to find a treble.
Oh dear, oh dear.
45.
Well, well, well. Robert Owen, a ton 40. Will give him 3 match darts. That's awkward. It's not the end of the world. He stayed straight and leaves him Shanghai. Christo Reyes could look at the 19s here because 5 19s would leave 100.
There's 2 of them.
58. Robert, you require 120.
He may be relying on the Welshman missing darts for the match because he's got one here. Tops for a first ever win against Christo Reyes. And look at the celebration from Robert Owen. He must have thought that he just could not get over the line. Time and again, he missed darts for legs in that match. Christo Reyes looked dead and buried in the early stages. Wrestled it back round to become the favourite once again. But the Spartan, the number 13 seed, is knocked out. And Robert Owen finds himself in round 3, the final day of the Dutch Darts Masters, for the first time in his career. Robert Owen will take on either the wizard Simon Whitlock or Kirk Shepherd. We now turn our attention to the young Belgian Mike De Decker, who takes the stage against the number 11 seed, Alan Chuck Norris, winner of the German Darts Championship at the back end of last year, of course.
Robert, up until yesterday, you hadn't won a match on the Euro Tour so far. Now you've made your first Sunday.
Yeah, it feels absolutely amazing. You know, in that game, it's always a tough game against Christo. I've never beaten him. I've played him probably 4 times this year. I'm lost to him every time. Good matches, but never ever I seem to miss doubles like I did in that game. But that last outro, my least favourite double top. First art, I'll take it any day.
Now that you're through to the Sunday, you're in the last 16. How far can you go, do you think?
I think the last 2 days, I haven't played my best whatsoever. We'll see tomorrow. If I can play better, who knows?
We gaan het morgen zien, dames en heren. Hij zit als eerste in de zondag bij de laatste 16. Geef hem een ongelooflijk applaus. Robert Owen!